People, it's time for another David update, and there are some new disturbing details coming out. There's some new clips that are looking a little bit sus, that have some people thinking something was going on with David's Tesla long before the body of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found in the trunk. Rest in peace to her, okay? But there's a whole bunch of new stuff coming out about the car, about the Tesla, about some details, about whether people already knew maybe there was a smell, maybe there was something going on, bugs, weird stuff going on with Tesla. I don't know, look. Okay, I'm going to break it all down to you in this video, but the first clip we're going to look at is this one, okay? This is a disturbing new clip that surfaced. It captures David, Neo, and Asia in what some people think is a concerning conversation about the Tesla. This says Sakura's 4th of July stream. They mentioned spiders and the car. What do you hear? This is what I heard, David discussing the car.
Be careful. Just
David,
be
you need to get bug sprayed. There's little spiders everywhere.
Oh, for real? Yeah, just cover the camera.
Yeah, can you...
No, it's not the whole.
Okay, one sec, chat. We're just leaving. I'm just gonna cover the cam.
I didn't even do that.
Wow. The server, I'm not gonna lie, the service is also really asking.
Yeah, chat.
So people are saying there's hella bugs, all right? It says, I swore I heard them mentioning spiders and cars, and one thing about a lot of spiders is they tend to gravitate to dead bodies because of all the flies. I didn't know that and looked it up, and people are saying, they're talking about, do you need bug spray? Is it for the car? And they're saying, oh, you forgot about the car? See it again.
Be careful. Just be
David,
careful.
you need to get bug sprayed. There's little spiders everywhere.
Oh, for real? Yeah, just cover the camera.
Yeah, can you...
No, it's not the whole.
Okay, one sec, chat. We're just leaving. I'm just gonna cover the cam.
I didn't even do that.
Wow. The server.
Neo says, I forgot. He says, you forgot about the car? And he says, wow, son, he's concerned, all right? People saying, I feel like there's a world where David told the girls a fake reason to avoid the Tesla and garage, like the car got skunked and now there's bugs, it smells weird, don't open the door. People saying, I definitely bet he did, just like people mentioning the candle in the video, how it's off the edge of the piano. And earlier in the stream, Sakura mentioned something smelling bad and David says he just pooped. A lot of coincidences with these weirdos. Says the car is an Uber that picked them up to go to the party. He was saying the whole house stank. I think they stank because death travels and it soaks into clothes. I think David and his entourage got used to it. When they get in the car, it's still on that person's odor. Sakura was smelling that nasty smell because it was on them. Says people and neighbors smelled the car in the area for a while, particularly around the hedges, and said their dogs kept dragging them towards the area. Okay, it says, yes, they are mentioning the car. Neo said he forgot and David said, oh, you forgot the car. They all four knew what was going on. The conversation is a good find. Okay, people think that that's what it's about. The car. So all of this raises some alarms because of just how Celeste's body was discovered. Obviously, it was the bad odor coming from the trunk of the Tesla where they eventually found the body. Detectives obtained a search warrant for the vehicle, and when the front storage compartment was opened, they found the black cadaver bag covered with insects and a strong odor of decay. This all came after the tow yard manager said the smell of decay was coming from the Tesla. Okay, so it is pretty reasonable to think that maybe the Tesla smelled, maybe it had bugs. Sounds like it did have bugs. There were insects all over the cadaver bag, covered in it, all right? This does make you wonder what was going on in that clip. So apparently, all right, let's take a look at some of the timeline for that Tesla and how Celeste's body was discovered, okay? Because evidence suggests that Celeste was essentially spending the majority of her time at David's alleged second residence in the lead up to her disappearance. So here's a few clips from the Doheny house where Celeste clearly was spending time. It says, looked like Celeste and David weren't alone in the second Doheny house. Asia was Asia with them.
Why are you doing? Why are you doing this, yo? This is not.
Wait, it's that shit, boy. Oh, about this, you know nothing about this, dead ass.
Everybody is dressed.
So they're saying this was Celeste filming, and you can hear Asia talking in the background. It says, looks like Celeste wasn't with David at the Doheny 804 rental house all by themselves. In the background besides them, you can hear two people's voices, females, and one of them sounds very similar to Asia. Kind of suspicious when Asia said she only met her once and didn't know her. And it says, at moments I've listened to Asia in Twitch stream not so long ago where she streamed after a long break and it sounds pretty accurate. People saying, you're right. I hear her distinctive vocals. This again shatters her I met her once for 5 minutes routine on social media. That was a blatant lie. Obvious, all right? Saying David handpicked his entourage. These were his picks because they like the same deviated things. He wouldn't trust anyone who isn't as sick as him. Of course they lie. That's definitely a prerequisite. He built his clique to have each other's backs, all participating in different levels of crime. They have no conscience on this crime. It's just an inconvenience to them. They want to be on social media and party like nothing happened. These are narcissistic sadomasochists. right? So there's another post related to Celeste being at the property before she was found in the Tesla. So private investigator Steve Fisher says he's aware of David's previous residence on Doheny. Says there's no pics of Celeste on video at Viero Drive because she stayed at his first rental house a mile away at 804 North Doheny Drive. And he says, I'm very aware of this address. And it says he must have been on TikTok or Reddit, eh? That's where he's getting the info from, all right? So this is apparently the very same house where the infamous Delete Everything stream took place, where David, like an absolute dummy, decided to get his, what appeared to be his underage girlfriend on stream on Twitch for some reason in January 2024.
I media trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
So this was at that property. So to give you some more backstory on the car, okay, in January 2025, way before the body was found, 9 months before the body was found, the registration for the Tesla, where Celeste was eventually found, had actually already expired. So this is what SF said about it on Twitter. So I'm starting to believe that the information I received claiming a family member messaged Celeste in July was incorrect. Whether that's accidental or intentional by the family member, I'm not sure. There's no trace of Celeste after early 2025 that I can find. The parties attended by a family member or in 2024 during the missing but not really missing period. The Tesla's Texas registration expired in January 2025. It was ticketed twice in late February in Hollywood, then not again until it was impounded. I can't find any trace of Celeste since very early 2025, although I fully admit that some sharp people on Reddit and YouTube are more dialed into her digital footprint through the Discord server activity and may have signs of her in 2025 I'm not aware of. At this point, I'm starting to wonder if something may have happened to Celeste many months ago, early in the year, being in a weather-sealed compartment that has very little oxygen and no insects, both very important components of decomposition. Well, there were insects in the end. Greatly slows the biological decomposition process, even in high temperatures. Could this have happened as far back as February or March? I would love to know the dates of credible last sightings of her. So Steve Fisher would later identify and highlight a suspicious dent on the side of David's vehicle as well. There's been a lot of theories around this dent in the side of the car. This says, I'm starting to believe the information. Oh, sorry, this is in response. So it says, I just came across this on Reddit. Will be interested to know your thoughts. Linked to the article. It says, it was a car accident on July 14th involving a black Tesla Model X that killed a cyclist in LA near 67th Street and Flower Street. It was in the news as a $50K reward about info related to the hit and run homicide case. They have a snapshot of the black Tesla with someone that looks like Celeste in the passenger seat lighting something. It happened while David was on tour. I'm thinking whoever she was with killed her so she wouldn't tell on him about the cyclist that died. It was on KCAL News July 15th. Go research it. I'm almost positive it's linked to Celeste. But then someone said it wouldn't be David's Tesla. I have proof that the rear dent and side damage was on the car in January. I can't say how right now, but I have 100% proof. So on February the 24th, 2025, David apparently took the Tesla to be professionally detailed. It makes you wonder, okay, if this was probably before the body was in the car. If he's having it detailed, they probably would have found her. This is throwback to when a fan reposted on the 24th of February on X. He had to get his car, David had to get his car detailed and exclaimed, but I'm alive at the end. He gets it detailed for a smoothie, but not repair all the damage to the car. Look at this.
Cars at the detailer getting that smoothie out. I got bit by a mosquito. My announcement is delayed. I gotta get an Uber. Half my shoes are dirty. But I'm alive.
That face, man. All right. He says half his shoes are dirty. Was that on the date of the shoe washing video in February? It was posted on the 23rd. So he was washing shoes just before this was posted. Said he tried to clean the scene after cleaning the shoes, got as much out as he could, then claimed it was a smoothie to the detailer. They're going to need to subpoena the detailer. That's what they're saying, all right? So only 2 days after the apparent detailing, the vehicle would actually receive its first recorded parking ticket. That's when this would happen. So SF posted, to clarify something, I said David's Tesla had an expired registration from January 2025. I also said the car could be accounted for in February because it was ticketed twice in Hollywood. I never said the tickets were for the expired registration. They were two separate statements. The tickets in Hollywood were parking tickets, receipts attached. It only proves that the car was still being used in February. So it basically means that the car was apparently being used during this time. Okay, I don't know exactly where it is, but it looks to be different locations. All right. So the next month in March 2025, okay, that's when the property that Celeste was believed to have been staying in is basically put up for rent. So this property that apparently was previously being lived in one of David's extra properties where Celeste was allegedly hiding out. This is where the Delete Everything stream took place right there. Okay, this was basically put back onto the market, I believe. Where is it? It was basically put up 2022. It was rented from 2022 apparently until the 8th of March 2025 when it would be listed for rent again. And it seems like they've either struggled to put it up, they put the price down a couple of times, and then the listing was removed. I don't know if that's because someone else is living there or because the attention from this case is causing a few problems. Now, very, very suspicious, okay? That would then lead us to July the 29th, 2025, when surveillance footage actually captured the Tesla being moved to its final parking spot, this being the same day David departed from his tour, where it was likely abandoned until the body was discovered in September.
Program. How certain are you that this video of the car driving away from David's mansion is the last time it drove and ended up at the spot where it was abandoned, likely with that body inside?
I'm certain. Listen, I can't say 100% because there's not a camera trained on that Tesla once it's parked. Continuously that I've seen. I mean, there likely is a camera, but I've seen the car driven to that spot, and with the dates, with the date that it was, and they left town right after that. I'm certain that is the last time the car was driven. It was put there with her, in the front trunk.
And there's one weird detail about what you could, well, there's a lot of weird details, and I'm going to get to what you saw through the driver's side window in a second, but there was an air freshener that was found in the car at this point that we see on our screen where it was abandoned. Was that air freshener also hanging from the rearview mirror when it drove off from David's house?
It wasn't, but his window was half to 3/4 of the way down, which is odd because it was a very short drive. And also at that on that day, this is the very end of July 29th, it was like 78 degrees at that time in the morning, or 77 degrees. And if it was on the street where the house is, so it's shaded by the house. So, if you're going, I don't know why the window would be rolled down unless there's something, offensive there. And then all of a sudden, one of the first things I picked up on when the news first broke about the her being found in there, where they were towing the car away from the impound lot to LAPD, was why on a $104,000 car is there a Christmas tree air freshener hanging from the, from the mirror? It seemed kind of odd to me, but I guess maybe they thought that would help, mask it for when they had to move the car again.
Right now, we're screaming at the TV set saying, Ashley, ask him who it was.
I mean, I honestly wish I could tell you. I don't want to, I don't want to interfere with LAPD on that. And I think that's coming because we know a crime was committed 100%. Somebody concealed her body, and hey, maybe the reason I don't want to say the person's name is because maybe this person was just someone that was asked to move the car, and didn't know. I find that very hard to believe, and I doubt that's the case. But just in case, I'd rather LAPD make that announcement.
Well, and it's important for us to tell viewers as well that you turned all this material over to them. You're the one who found it. You're the one who took it to them. You're the one who said, and I connected it to the photos from just 12 hours earlier, and here's the clothing. It looks like this could be an ID. July 29th, important because that was the last day that David was in Los Angeles, right, before he went off on his tour. So he was there in Los Angeles on that day that drive happened.
Yeah, I've seen on his public social medias, he had put a video out where it was the first day on their new tour bus because they were going to San Francisco for the first night of the concert series, and they did a video from inside the tour bus. So I believe hours after that car was moved, they actually got on the tour bus and headed to San Fran.
So the final moments that car was moved, they all then got onto the tour bus. And this was documented on social media. There was videos posted, as Steve is referring to. This is the video. This is David, Asia, and Neo on David's tour bus on July the 29th, 2025. Okay.
I'm going to show you guys the eats before we embark on our tour adventure. We got the Bangin' Balls burgers, the Bangin' Balls tender, tour bus vibes, studio in the back because we making music called Tour. You know where it's at. You know what it is. Why am I talking like this? I don't know. See y'all in San Francisco. First show on the way. We're going to get naked on stage.
Oh, we're going to get naked on stage, are we? Okay. It says they must have all seen that Tesla move. Steve Fisher said the Tesla moved, then the tour bus arrived. His friends must know something about the Tesla. They're saying he's cringe as F. So Steve Fisher would later try and kind of low-key call out Neo, David's friend who was on that bus, as the driver of the car. He said, I hope this statement is true. It'd be nice for someone to finally talk, someone that's so close to some of the people being mentioned publicly. If I could ask a question, I would ask him if he's ever driven that Tesla in the couple months before it's towed. It's just a question, not an accusation. Okay. And Neo was basically pissed that everybody was, putting theories out there about him, making false assumptions. But SF seemed to pretty strongly believe that it was likely that Neo was the last person to drive that Tesla. Now, Celeste's body was found in September, and that's when a search warrant is issued. Now, SF would also point out some interesting things about the search warrant. It said this is a copy of the search warrant applied for and granted after the LAPD was called to the tow yard to investigate a foul odor coming from David's Tesla. The warrant return is also attached. So David's Tesla holds a lot of the secrets basically about what's been going on. And a month after this, a tow company employee would basically describe the very moment that the company discovered that Celeste's body was in the car.
I love that this is not phasing you at all.
I found that singer who murdered his underage girlfriend's body like a month ago. Nothing phased me after that.
Wow. What? I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
What?
Tesla, it's that singer David.
Yes. You found it?
Yeah, that was us.
Get the fuck
That was this?
fuck out.
Yeah.
With my progressive app. Of course, won't recognize my face. Cool. No plan. Let's just Face ID is required to continue because stolen device protection is turned on.
No!
What is happening?
Do you have your driver's license?
Yes. I can't.
It was bizarre. So look, that's pretty hilarious, but like the guy actually just was the person to discover the body. It's actually crazy, okay? He said he's seen it all. Now, by the end of January 2026, okay, that's when David's Tesla is scheduled for public auction until a member of his inner circle steps in and reclaims the vehicle. So we don't know who took the car, but it's basically been notarized, transferred to another party. So David's Tesla, which held the remains of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, was released to an individual who presented notarized paperwork authorizing the vehicle's transfer. I verified this. That person then transferred ownership into their own name. I can't disclose the new owner's identity without violating the rules of my DMV access as an investigator. This is also why I always redact license plate numbers, even when they're publicly known. As a licensed investigator with direct DMV access, if I run that plate number, I have to redact it, even if it's public knowledge, since there's a group that thinks I'm trying to hide the plate number, even though they know it. It's clear that this was a calculated move to get the car out of public view and out of David's name. I wouldn't be surprised if it's about to be crushed. Get rid of the evidence. That is actually crazy. Okay. I got the plate number there. Yeah, well, look, okay. I personally feel like the Tesla is going to be key. It's going to seal David's fate. I think the car is probably going to have some kind of footage on it. I think the car is probably going to have a whole bunch of secrets, DNA, other evidence inside it. And I do think the car is actually going to be what cooks David in the end, okay? I think Tesla is going to snitch on David, basically, in some way or another. And I do think, I mean, I still can't believe we haven't gotten an arrest at this point. But I think, and I pray that it is coming. Whoever was responsible, whoever could have been responsible for this heinous crime, I think they're going to face justice soon. But anyway, that's it from me. Just 2 videos for you guys today. I've got some other stuff that I'm working on. I've got a main channel video I'm about to record. It's going to be lit. So I will catch you guys in some more videos later on. Check out my Influencers Exposed video that I dropped on James Corden a day ago. That's super interesting. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for your support. And for now, I'm out of here, gang. Peace.